afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good
Good.
afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Charot. Anyway, welcome again to our virtual conference. For today, October 21, we are going to have our lecture workshop for lecture 15 or feature writing. So before we start, while we are ongoing with our virtual conference, I would like to request everyone to please write down your complete name at the chat box so that that will serve as your attendance for today. Okay. Please write down your complete name in the chat box and have everyone as the recipient of the attendance, okay, of your comment rather. Okay, so before we start, any questions so far? Questions so far? Questions so near? None? Okay. Before we go to our lecture workshop, let me just remind everyone that we are on lecture 16. Today is lecture 16. So for Monday, supposedly, we are going to have lecture 15 ta rather, 15 ta karon, no? 15. So supposedly next meeting, which is lecture 16 only, uh, we have to cover up until lecture 17 so that we will have our midterm exam by next Wednesday, which is October 28th. So that on Monday, which is November 1, November 2 rather, we don't have a class on that day, I believe. So we have to make APAS of the day. So on Monday, guys, we will cover lecture 16 and 17, which is writing the interview. So we will have I will post another set of announcement for that. But any questions so far first?
None, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So let's go right away. So once again, welcome to our lecture workshop. This is for feature writing. So we've done a series of lecture workshop previously for news writing and for editorial writing. Now, for this instance, we are going to have feature writing. Can you see my PowerPoint, everyone?
No,
No?
ma'am.
No? Not yet?
No, ma'am.
I'm sa.
Nag-loading siya.
Nag-loading lagi
Yeah.
akong laptop.
Okay na,
Nanay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Which one? The presentation or just the the author's view? Wala
Author's
pa
view.
no. Author's view pa, dili pa. Ang kani, kani.
Aka na, ma'am.
Presentation na, ma'am.
All right, presentation. All right, so wait, let me see. Wala na ko siya na record. Oh, nada recording day. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to where we are. Okay, so this is for lecture 615 rather, feature writing. So at the end of this lecture workshop series, I hope that we could review a little bit about feature writing, and at the end of the workshop, I want you guys to, of course, the end goal is for you to write a feature article. So I hope that you have read and did assignment 14 so that you'll be prepared for our workshop today. Okay, so to start, let's first review more on the definition of feature article or feature writing. Okay, so what is a feature article? It's an essay based on facts. So it's different from news article basically because um, uh, news article are hard facts or hard news. Basically, they are all facts. But in feature article, they are just basically storytelling. Only that it's based on facts as well. Okay, so the main purpose is to entertain, and it must be very interesting, and it takes many forms and covers many subjects. Okay, so it may also instruct, advise, inform, and entertain at the same time, and it's written to hook the reader and draw them into the story. So basically, you're just storytelling in a feature article, only that it's based on facts. Okay, wait a moment. Madunggan ninyo ang background music? Madunggan
Yes,
ninyo?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Edito kayo.
Yes. Wala, ma'am.
Okay raman, ma'am.
Sorry about that. Tama gumipuyad rin. Anyways, let's continue. Okay, so aside from that, feature article is also, ano mag-log man akong kuan, is also may vary in length. Okay, they may be long ones. There also be short ones like in magazines or in campus publication. So it may be timely, may or may not be timely. Like for example, in the previous publication that we had for SPC Herald, we featured Ma'am Concordia, no, the late Ma'am Concordia. So it's her being a feature is not that timely, but because she is a well-known person in the department of or the College of Education. So she was, or her story rather, is a very good feature story. Then we included her in the publication. Okay, and it uses specific nouns, adjectives, verbs. Basically, it's storytelling. Okay, and comparison to news feature, it's different because news features aims to inform but with no more explanation, backgrounds and impressions, but a feature aims to entertain. Okay, so there is a difference between news feature and a feature article. Okay, so news feature aims to inform with no further explanation. Wala na daghang lar, wala na daghang storya. But feature basically aims to entertain. It's just basically storytelling. Okay, mind you, storytelling lang siya. Wala din siya storya-storya. But with concrete facts. Okay, so what are the topics that we can include in our feature article? So there are several. We can include personalities or a character sketch rather, like Ma'am Concordia, the late Ma'am Concordia. We also have experience and adventures. Okay, description of an event, perhaps, or what else? Community, a school project, and so on. We can also include what to do and how to do articles, like for example, how to cope up with stress in online class. We can also do that as a feature article. Okay, news behind news. It's an in-depth look at the stories behind current news. So, for example, if a news is about what's the latest news nowadays? For example, the latest news about Red Cross not providing the basic necessities of OFW because of the utang of PhilHealth to them. You can write a feature article about that news. Okay, you dig deeper into why is it so? Why is that a big problem to the government? Something like that. Okay, science and technology, you can also make a topic for that. Human appeal stories, also called concern stories, it highlights the dramatic condition and experiences of a certain group of people. Seasonal themes, like magnify the significance and relevance of holidays, anniversaries, and special events. Like for example, for our case now, for the new normal, you can focus on the importance of holidays in the online class. If whether or not we really have holidays, we do consider holidays or not. Okay, mostly naraman ta sa balay, something like that. We can also include narratives, interesting stories to relate, like historical ones. Um, Backgrounders, articles that explain the history or background of a certain event, developmental feature articles, or articles that deal with development happening in the community, things such as projects that will help for certain developments might catch the interest of some readers. Okay, and there are also feature articles about current trends, and there are also books, movie, and play reviews. So we can have a wide range of topics that we can include in our feature article. Okay, so what's the most advantages of a feature article is that compared to news article, you have you can select a lot of topics. Okay, whereas in news, hard news, okay, magatang ka ura kag isda nga magatang bahugan og unsay mahitabo. So you are actually waiting for an event nga worthy, timely, okay, timely to be called news, something like that. Okay, so let's try to review steps in writing a feature article. So the first thing that you need to do is you choose a theme. You choose a topic. Like for example, has the story been done before? Is the story of interest to the audience? Does the story have holding power or emotional appeal? What makes the story worthy of being reported? And the theme should answer, so what? Okay, like for example, magbuhat ko og feature article about sa akong experience sa online class. And then, so what? What will be the focus of my feature article then? Will it be more narcissistic feature article like gikapoy kaayo ko sa nga tanan or something like that? Okay, what is your theme? What is your aim at writing that feature article? So what? Okay, that's the most important question. And then in opening a feature article, a news writer often finds himself in a dilemma. Like, how should I start my feature article? Or a new writer, rather, how should I start? There are sure na kay clear idea of what you want to write about. The lead rather is an important part to consider. Okay, so aside from catchy title, the lead will either hook the readers to continue reading the article or turn the page to another piece. So same with news articles, feature have leads because basically that will include the basic information that the reader might want to know about your article. Okay, so as mentioned, feature articles are based on facts. Okay, and then in writing the lead, a summary may not be the best lead. Instead, use a novelty lead. So there are a lot of leads. A lead block of 1 or 2 paragraphs often begins a feature. So rather than put the news elements of the story in the lead, the feature writer uses the first 2 or 3 paragraphs to set a mood, to arouse the reader, to invite them inside. So we have different kinds of lead, like for example, punch lead, like or contrast lead, opening with opposite differences. For example, Mayweather is unbeaten, still many consider Pacquiao to be better than him despite Manny's imperfect records, something like that. Or you can also open in a figurative lead, like Manny Pacquiao is the pambansang kamao of the Philippines, something like that. Or allusion lead, suspense lead, startling read, like hindi pa kami laos, or something like that. Okay, or for example, if you want to write a feature article about academic freeze, like for example, your lead starts with hashtag academic freeze now, and then you start na dayon your feature article. Why are you using that as your lead or first statement of your feature article? So we have different kinds of lead here. We'll just go over them. You can also use rhetorical questions. Rhetorical questions are questions that are not really answerable by yes or no, but can evoke critical thinking. Like for example, who says that age is an obstacle to education? Okay, who says? I don't know. Maybe perhaps those who are blah blah blah, something like that. Okay, so the answer is on the second part of the lead. Take it from Danilo Marcelo of Arayat Pampanga, something like that. Okay, you can also do narrative opening. Ayun po nang once upon a time in a faraway land, ayan lang po na siya, ha? Dili na siya pwede sa kuan feature article. Or quoted remarks like, I can earn while I learn. Okay? And also, an old maxim, aphorism, or salawikain. And history or background of the subject, problems to be discussed in the article or fact to be established, like there is an answer to the rising cost of vegetables, raise your own. So that being the lead would ignite the interest, the attention of the readers to further read more about your article. Okay, next, after writing the lead, you write now the body of the feature. Okay, first you provide vital information while it educates, entertains, and emotionally ties an audience to the subject. So the important components include background information, the thread of the story, the dialogue, and the voice. Okay, what do we mean by thread? That would probably mean like ang kanang iyahang timeliness niya or kanang iyahang kanang coherence niya sa story nimo og sa imuhang sa body sa imuhang feature og sa imuhang lead. And dialogue, it calls for a conversation with you and the reader, and of course there is a voice, and that's your voice as the writer of the feature article. And in organizing feature stories, we seldom use the inverted pyramid. So the commonly used styles are chronological, that builds the climax at the end, a narrative, or a first person article about one of their own experiences, or a combination of these. Okay, so we have to take note of the following key points in writing the body of our feature article. Write an active voice and, if possible, present tense. Accuracy is important, so you can interpret and embroider, but do not fudge. Okay, the facts or the details of your article. Keep your audience clearly in mind and avoid cliches. Ano bang kuan nga kayo nga mga sayings, and avoid lengthy and complicated paragraphs. Okay, you can also use figures of speech as an effective tool in enhancing your feature writing. Make use of them frequently. Okay, the tone of your piece is vital. Sprinkling some rhymes will make the feature more readable. Okay, so the more you make it closely related to a narrative fiction, but not fictional because of the facts. The narrative like a tone of writing a short story is essential also in feature writing. Okay, so read and do some research about your details, about your facts. Keep up to date, take notes, and play with the words. Okay, now how can we end the feature article? So leave a lasting impression by concluding it effectively. So that's why in the previous part, it's mentioned that we seldomly use the inverted pyramid as the structure of our feature writing, because there is an introduction or the lead, the body, and then we can also put some conclusions in there. Okay, and then you can include a summary of the whole story. You can have an announcement of the main points for the first time. Okay, you can have a question left in reader's mind, like for example, do you have these kinds? Do you have these kinds of hands? Something like that. Suggested result or significance, a forecast or a prophecy, a repetition of the introduction, a repetition of the sentence or slogan or a reference to the title, and an appropriate quotation. Okay, and last but not the least, do not forget to write an effective headline or an effective title. So, why is it that last ang title? That's probably because if you have the theme in mind, you've had the topic and the theme in mind, over the course of the time that you are writing the body, the conclusion, the last part of your feature article, that's the time that you can think of a catchy headline for your feature article. Okay, so make sure that the title is something that sticks and persuades the reader to peruse the article, something that encapsulates into very few words the main idea of the article, and something that includes keywords that revolve on the focus of the article. Okay, so we have here qualities of a well-written feature story. Well-researched, catchy, descriptive, exciting, reflective, emotional, engaging, neutral, and thorough in giving information and facts. And although the writer applies his imagination to the facts, the feature story, ladies and gentlemen, is not fiction. It's based on facts. And do not forget 3 principles in writing your feature article. There should be unity in thought, coherence in thought, emphasis of thought. Okay? Do not forget those 3 things. And what are the qualities of a feature writer? Keen observation, because basically you should be very descriptive. Intellectual curiosity, ability to find features in everyday happenings, cupboards of descriptive words and everyday idioms. Okay, skills to weave words, ability to write effectively, have various interests, and investigates every angle before starting to write in order to get the story behind the story. Okay, question so far. So near yet so far. Question so far. Ma'am, si Kabalo. Kay dili siya ka-appeal. Okay, noted. Sige, question so far, everyone. Pangutana. Pangutana. Pangutana ba? Pangutana ba? Wala pangutana, guys. Tarong ba, guys? Question, everyone. Questions bitaw, guys. I'm serious. Questions. Questions, everyone.
Wala, ma'am.
Wala so far. Pasensya kay na ignorante ko sa kuan sa filter sa Zoom. Anyways, okay, so if you don't have any questions, let's proceed. So if you have taken a look at our Moodle classroom, I posted in lecture 15. Here, let me share my screen. Pasensya kay loading jud kay siya. I don't know why. But when I look in your eyes, anyways, we have here our loading jud siya. We have here our Moodle classroom. By the way, this is the teacher's view. So we have here lecture 15. So I will be posting here later today or later, whatever I can edit and post it here, the screen recording, and I will be showing to you guys later on the copy of this PowerPoint presentation. And for our lecture workshop, this is the instruction. So I hope you're ready, guys. Ready to go beyond. Okay, so for our lecture, for our workshop, ladies and gentlemen, ta-da! Of course, you write a feature article. So you can choose one from the list. You can choose one topic from the list of ideas given in lecture 14 as an assignment for your feature articles. That is basically related to your journey or experience in the campus as a student or as a whatever you'd like to have a role in your journey in there or a part of the organization baka and something. You can also write a feature story or article about timely ideas like online classes, the Moodle platform that we are using right now, tuition fee increase, what else? What else? What other timely ideas do we have aside from these things? COVID, something like that. The effect of COVID to the mental state of chuchu, bike, ek, na siya nga mga topics. Okay, you can choose any topic so long as you have your audience in mind, and which your audience should be your readers for your publication. Basically, people that is related to SPC, students, administration, teachers alike. Okay, so have that as noted. And you're free to use any style in writing the feature article. The deadline is on or before October 25, Sunday. Okay. Questiones so fares. Question so far, so near, so far.
Wala limit sa paragraph, ma'am, no?
Wale.
Sa words po, ma'am.
Wale. Wala. Sa paman.
Ma'am,
Walon. Yes.
mag-choose mi sa mo ang
Okay ra ka ng journey sa kanang laing tao?
Yeah, Kira. Like for example, if you have read, if you have read from the SPC Herald that I shared to you guys, we included Dominic Madulina. Is that her correct name? Oh, his
Dulin,
correct
ma'am.
na. Oh, Madulin rather. Oo, gi-include na mo siya and in his journey after graduation in as a teacher in 5-1 Talk. So, naapil siya dito as a feature article. So, pwede ra siya po. Sige, sa paman. Kinsa to isa? Sa to isa ng utana.
since freestyle man ang iyahang text, ma'am, so depende ra namo kung unsay size or unsay mga
Yes. As long as the narrative is there, the story is there, and the facts are there, bisan unsa. And as long as it's also in English.
yes.
Yeah, it's in English jud siya. Sa paman. What else? What else? What else? What else? Sa paman, everyone. Any questions? Any questions?
Pwede mangutana sa lain nga subject, ma'am.
Ano man nga subject?
Ma'am, kanang about ato sa translation, ma'am, ba katong
Yes.
assignment? Katubitang wait, din ako siya makuan, ma'am. Katong assignment.
Transliteration? Transliteration, yeah. Transliteration?
Katong magkuha og 5 ka kuan, ma'am, sa
Yeah,
field sa
transliteration to siya. Sige, sa may pangutana to.
Unsay correct answer.
For example,
example lang, ma'am, mga
let's have a which word in your field of education does have an origin in Latin or Greek that you think change over time? What do you think? So you can research that on the internet. So if wala gyud mo makita, di wala. Ano lang siya. Okay? So it also matters mong good the way you research for information in the internet. Okay? So this is now when we practice how to be how to be knowledgeable in in double checking our information, and at the same time being curious about the things that we are going to do. Like for example, I'm always curious, why do we have to have, like for example, the word scaffolding? I'm pretty much sure it's in your field, right? Scaffolding, like schema. Okay. I think it's known before as schema. It's from the word schemata or something like that. So it changed over time the way they use the words in that field. So nag-change over time, like scaffolding, like schema. So those are borrowed words or terminologies quoted by pioneers in the field. So you can do a lot of words. I'm pretty much sure there are more than words there. What if, ma'am, English man ang among major, mga vocab lang sa English ang mo gi-translate, ma'am? Okay ra pod. Yeah. Yes.
Okay ra day siya, ma'am. Sige, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Opo, pwede ra po siya.
Abi, maguna kog sentence good siya, ma'am, ba nga
Dili,
i-translate?
words man to siguro. Word akong giingon?
Pero
Sentence.
na-check one, ma'am. Kanang i-define daw siya sa source
Sa-
text. O sa target.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kana pag ito murag etymology but today?
Kuan siya. Kuan na siya. The etymology refers to, for example, siya nag-origin. Like, what date? Kinsa, asa siya first gi-use? Ana ba? Okay, so it's just the same thing. That's the important thing about using it in a context is that para masabtan nganong nabalhin siya, nalahi iyahang term or nalahi iyang meaning from the source text to the target text or the source language to the
So that
target language. Ano
target
ba?
language.
Okay, so it's always important to use examples, especially in context na, para masabtan siya. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
What?
Salamat.
Okay, welcome. What else? What else? What else? Wala na so far? Okay. If you don't have any questions, then please to proceed with the workshop. You can do it today. You have, I think, 4 days ra ba to siya? O 4 days until Sunday ra siya. Because on Monday, again, for those who are late, we will try to cover lecture 16 and 17, that's writing the interview, so that for next Wednesday, October 28th, we are now going to have our midterm exam para pagka November 2, which is Monday, the week after next, which is November 2, walay klase. So wala na mo'y problema hon. Okay? So your problem for midterms ends for October 28 na lang. So we will cover, I will post, probably we will have another virtual meeting for that lecture, for that series of lecture for lecture 16 and 17. Okay?
Walay quiz karon, ma'am.
At nara siya, workshop raman ta karon. You just have to write your feature article. Okay? All right. Okay, if there are no questions, then thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate it. And please be safe always, guys. And please, don't stress yourselves sa academic requirements. Just chill. Okay? Those teachers who will not consider your burdens will go to hell. Charot. Will not fall asleep at night soundly. Charot. Bitaw, sige lang. Ilahan ng burden, ilahan ng conscience, ilahan ng problema, dili na inyo. So don't stress over academic requirements. Do as what you can actually do. Do not stress over it. No, chill rata rin napita. Naratas to mga labalay, so dapat mag-chill rata. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody. Again, and again. Please be safe always. God bless everyone, and see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Goodbye. Bye-bye,
Bye, ma'am.
everyone.
Bye,
Bye,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you po. Shishi. Bye-bye.